It's June 4th, 2018. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Mr. Matt Morgan, Mr. Raj Giri, talking Monday Night Raw. 1 week until the go-home show for Money in the Bank. Matt, what did you think of tonight's Raw?
Not good. Not good. I liked the potential of the Sami Zayn stuff tonight. I think he was great as usual. But now, tag team turmoil, whatever the hell you want to call it, Battle Royal couldn't have cared any less. A lot of things I just found myself like, I'm being honest. I would not have watched it if I did not have to do this podcast. And that's how I rate if I'm watching a show as a fan and really into it. And I'm a huge fan. I'll be the first. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I love wrestling. I love watching all kinds of wrestling. So it takes a lot for me to go, oh crap, I've got to watch this. Unfortunately, when my wife's going, why are you watching these guys? This sucks. I'm like, well, because I have to. I got to report on it later. You know, there was a lot of that tonight for me.
Yeah. I thought. I don't know if sucked is too strong a word or it's just boring. It was just so dull. Boring. Yeah, it was just nothing happening. You know, watching paint dry for 3 hours.
Yes.
It just, you know, the problem I have a lot of times with shows when they get to the stage is you start DVRing it, right? When you can miss it, you just DVR it. And that's the first step to stopping watching it completely. And I think a lot of times this time of year, when there's nothing going on, they give these fans this opportunity to start, you know, just DVRing it, watching it later, and then they eventually check out. And that's why viewership drops every year. And I think this is just one of those examples. This is another week. It's been like this for a month and a half, I feel like. Just nothing happening. Crappy angles, bad acting.
Bad acting.
Yeah.
Bad acting.
And shit finishes. That, you know, that Kevin Owens Finn Balor match, did you, you know, couldn't you have booked anyone else? Or I don't know. It sucked.
Do you ever have that existential crisis, Raj? So, Matt, you mentioned, like, oh, you know, why am I watching this? If I didn't have to, I wouldn't. But, Raj, do you ever start thinking, like, maybe there's a business to be had in doing a Better Call Saul fan site? Maybe I can make that my new thing. Shut down Wrestling Inc. Do something meaningful with my life.
No, I haven't. It hasn't gotten that bad yet. Even though, I mean, there are a lot of weeks where I would not watch it if it weren't for this podcast.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm with you guys. Tonight was probably the toughest, and tonight had some bright spots. It had some moments, but I'll tell you what it is and tell me what you think of this, Matt. So they opened with Elias out there doing that promo, interrupted by Seth Rollins. We know that they're going to go for the IC title at Money in the Bank. Then Jinder comes out, then Roman comes out, and it evolves into a tag team match very quickly. How do you feel, Matt, as the viewer, when they do this half-hour opening without hyping up anything else in the evening or getting you excited for the show?
Because they've picked proper talent, I would say more than half, I would say a lot of the time when they pick these segments. I've found, like, remember Braun Strowman wrestled for like 45 minutes one night? Mm-hmm. I was engaged in that because he had a new opponent like every, 5 minutes or something like that? I forget. But they've done it a few times where I've really enjoyed it because I like more ring time for the guys. That could work. So, like, Finn Balor, you're going to tell me he's going to start off the first 30 minutes, I'm in. You tell me Seth Rollins is wrestling the first 30 minutes, I'm in. You know what I mean? But you're right as far as if we're talking about business sense and we're building our show and we're supposed to be crescendoing it, you have to do your advertising early on folks, tonight, this is what we, blah, 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 this guy versus this guy, this guy versus this guy, and whatever have you to make people want to come back and watch. We saw Roman in the first segment. If those of you who are out there, there's a lot of fans that are like this and love Roman. They think he's the hood ornament of that company. He's the guy, right? We saw him in the first 30 minutes. What else do I got to watch?
Yeah, it feels like you build and deliver your main event right off the bat. You know, you Seth and Roman. You know, with the harder core fans, Seth is the guy with
super hot Seth. Yeah,
and so to have both of those guys in the first match, yeah, Glenn, I mean, I agree. Yeah, exactly. Like, and then we want to stick around for Nia and Natalya. No. I mean, no offense to Natalya, but that's the intrigue. I'm going to sit around another 2.5 hours for that. Yeah, I agree. They don't build to the end of the show as much as they used to. The opening segment should kind of set the stage for it's the basic storyline for the rest of the show, and now it's just kind of a throwaway segment for the first match.
Yeah.
That being said, I thought that match was good.
It was good, but what was the story? What was the hook? It was a kind of an interesting way to start the show.
It's another one of those things that we accuse the tag teams of doing, except they did it in reverse. See what I'm saying? We always talk about how, like, Sheamus and Cesaro are the ones who are always most guilty of this, and being booked wise, I'm saying, where they'll be in a tag team match coming up in the upcoming pay-per-view versus Joe Blow and Mike Smith, right? And they'll crisscross single matches for like the next 8 weeks. They're thrown into a 6-man. But over those 8 weeks, that's all we're getting. That's what they did in the single side of the business tonight by joining two, angles together.
Yeah, they've just been crisscrossing Roman's feud and Seth's feud. And then it's this formula that they've just been doing forever. There's no real storytelling. It's a feud starts with just someone randomly attacking somebody else, and that's it.
It feels lazy in the way of, well, why wouldn't Roman Reigns come out and be a part? Okay, I could see that, yes.
Yeah.
But it's still lazy. I think people don't get as over in the process. For instance, Jinder, in my opinion, gets hurt the most of this, where he could be doing one-on-one segments with Roman Reigns, of all people, the guy, which helps his stock rise, regardless of whatever Roman does to him. He's still Jinder's in the, one-on-one segments with him, not sharing time with 3 stars that are more over than him.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah, it was a tough start to a show. I think it sort of set the tone that tonight was going to be all over the place.
But it was a great match, though, right, Raj? Like you said, it was a good match.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I think Jinder has looked a lot better with these guys since he's been kind of put in the feud with, obviously with Seth, you're going to, but with Roman, he seems more comfortable, I guess. And I think Elias too. I thought this was one of Elias's stronger outings.
I want to say I did like Elias kicking off the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did too. I felt different, and it shows that they got some confidence in him. Because that's a big deal.
It is a huge deal, huge responsibility.
And Elias hit the drift away on Rollins, got the win in that match. So Elias and Jinder won. We saw more from Jinder and Roman later in the night.
That probably means Rollins is winning at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him take the L. I'll be honest. He's been red hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost think, again, if you do want to go with Seth in the world title picture, then Elias would probably be the guy to lose it to right now, since he could use that belt.
Yes, he could.
It'd be a next step for him, and it doesn't hurt Seth.
Not
absolutely.
Title, no.
Yeah. Okay, so they did something different, or I thought they were doing something a little different after that. Kurt Hawkins out there talking about tonight was going to be the night.
Me too. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he said tonight was going to be the night. If I win, everyone gets free tacos. They had a big buffet tray of tacos out there. They brought out local enhancement talent. Now, Matt, did you assume what I did, that this is going to be the start?
It's happening. It's going to happen.
Oh, you thought he was going to win? Oh,
yeah.
I thought they were going to make Kurt's gimmick that he's going to go from town to town and lose to the local jobber each week.
No.
I didn't think he was going to win because of the tacos. If they didn't have the tacos there, I would have thought he was going to win.
Really? With what's going on with the B squad now and things like that? Why not? I don't know.
I can't see them handing out tacos to all the people at
ringside. They hand out pancakes
every week. I'll admit, I didn't think that part through.
Like, I don't know, man. WWE's got some cash now. They can afford tacos for everyone.
Yeah, I did think I thought he was going to get DQ'd, but I thought like he was going to mess up, like he would have the win in sight and then screw up and something happened. But those tacos look good. I was getting hungry.
Yeah, seriously.
The way the announcers were putting them over too. I was like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
See, I was thinking if Kurt's new thing was he went from town to town and got beat by the local job guy, that after a couple weeks we're going to get the next James Ellsworth. We're going to get the next.
We don't need the next James Ellsworth.
Hey,
that's going to be his gimmick. I think you're right. I think you're on it, Glenn. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, and Corbin
he's going to keep going against. I think that's a great gimmick.
Yeah, it does something, right? Pays it forward, gives some new talent.
It's entertaining. Granted, we're not going to get two main event stars at us, but that's okay. It's a different kind of entertainment on the lower end of the card, right? It's different than what we get.
Yeah. So against James Harden tonight.
James Harden was.
His name was James Harden?
Yeah.
Shut up. They did not call him James Harden.
Is that what is that a rib on?
That's an NBA player.
Oh, is it? Okay.
His name was James Harden.
That makes sense then. Yeah, Elias ripped the Rockets at the beginning too.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I
mean, that's cheap heat to the most desperate kind of cheap heat, but the way he delivered that line, "Oh, I'm James Harden," I was like, what are they referencing? I could tell it was meant to be something. I know 3 basketball players.
He's
So.
he's like an MVP candidate this year for the NBA.
Yeah.
I'm thinking most basketball players I know were in like NBA Jam from '94. Like those are the ones that I can name.
You remember Air Dog and P-Funk? Special code players.
Yeah, like oh god, there were so many of them in there.
George
God,
Clay.
NBA Jam was so good.
I know Air Spud. And that
Air
was
Spud.
yeah, that was the dog that played basketball.
That's Air Bud, Raj.
Air Bud.
Yeah.
And he was a dog of many sports.
Ah.
Football, basketball. Oh,
We digress.
we digress. So Corbin came out, got the DQ. So
Yeah, he
James
attacked.
Harden won.
He attacked Harden.
Harden.
So Harden won by DQ.
Yeah.
And then he went backstage to Kurt Angle, and then he beat up Kurt Hawkins, threw him into that tray of delicious-looking tacos, just all over the place.
They have to do a food thing every week, right? In the summer, that's their thing.
Yeah, it is.
So backstage, he tells Kurt Angle that he has a letter from Stephanie McMahon declaring Corbin the Constable of Monday Night Raw. There to
I must have missed that part.
Oh, you didn't see
Yeah.
that? It was actually, I think, the best promo segment Baron Corbin has done. He was smiling. Like, it was a
What?
different Baron Corbin. I liked this Baron Corbin. Kind
Ugh.
of smart-ass, smart-alecky.
I think there's so many people. If you want to have that role, that's fine. But Corbin just seems so miscast for that. You should
Sami
get someone.
Zayn would be the perfect
Sami Zayn would be
Constable
great for that.
of Monday Night Raw.
You don't even need. I don't know. I wonder if this is just one of those things that they came up with in the meeting today and then decided to throw it on without really thinking of where it's going to go. It almost felt like that.
They do that.
Yeah.
It's going to be that the letter's fake, right? Like, I mean, that's got to be the outcome of this.
No, I don't think so. I don't think he would cross Stephanie like that. Like fake a letter from Stephanie.
No, but I think Stephanie would admire those.
Plus,
screaming
Stephanie would
Kurt.
call right away and be like,
That's
"That's
true. Yeah, we'll see where it leads. So that happened, and he's the eyes and ears for Stephanie on Raw now.
Natalie thinks it could be heading to Corbin versus Jason Jordan.
Oh my God! Don't say that's good. Who said that?
I'd say I could see that. I could see them doing that. But
Okay.
yeah.
Nia Jax versus Natalya. So Ronda Rousey comes out to a huge pop. She's on commentary. Let's talk about Ronda Rousey on commentary first. Repeated the same joke going into break and coming back from break.
Yeah, I guess she thought that was really funny and didn't think like the crowd heard it the first time or something.
Yeah, her husband is the only one that could say she's ripe for the picking. Yeah. And when they cut to her, it looked like she was reading off a teleprompter. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I've seen hostage videos that had more charisma and looked less forced than this.
Jeez.
I mean, it was bad. She was like dead-eyed, staring ahead, and this is, I mean, so I got to think they had a prompter in front of her and they were feeding her stuff to say.
So
Don't be surprised.
I had an interview with Haku tonight, so I had to leave during this match. So I missed about 20 minutes. So it sounded like I went out at a good point.
Yeah, it wasn't a great use of Ronda Rousey. It was her being buddy again with Natalya, not overly, worrying about Natalya, who got an injury at the end of the match, cost her the victory. Well, it helped, homegirl beat her. But and after the match, she walked, up the ramp and kept staring down like Nia Jax though while she got in the ring to check on Natalya. And they got a couple stare downs there and there, and Nia was like, "Oh, sorry," She didn't injure her; it wasn't her fault. It was just a freak accident that happened when she hit the ropes, and Natalya injured her knee.
They did 2 of those tonight too.
What was the other one?
With Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss, yeah.
Alexa's was more obvious. Like this wasn't supposed. This was supposed to be It's not a legit injury, but it was supposed to seem legit in the story. It was legit, whereas Alexa's wasn't. But I just think with Ronda, every time they have her out there, it's just kind of less and less each week, like less and less special. Like there's no reason you need her out on commentary if it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, and they need to be careful with that. You know what I mean? You don't want to be known as the company that blew like the hottest box office attraction.
Right.
I mean, think about it. I mean, I was looking forward to that. Like I just got done telling you, like Roman, Seth, I saw all the guys I really want to see in the first segment. Okay, take out KO and Sami Zayn. Okay, I want to see them too. But also part of that was Ronda Rousey for me. You know, I'll watch the end of the show. I bet just one will see Ronda. I kept thinking, you know, after that first segment. So she drew me in to want to watch more, though, you know. And then they give us that, you know. So I don't know how it is for other fans. Is that somebody who's not doing a podcast? Are they going to come back and like, yeah, that's how they're using her? That's kind of lame.
They're just rushing her. I mean, putting her in a singles match against Nia Jax of all people. It seems like a bad idea. Unless they were planning to go 30 seconds or something, it seems like a bad idea.
Because Nia's gonna like rough her up, or what?
Well, I think Nia, if you're having someone without any experience, it seems like you'd want to go with someone like an Asuka, you know, that has a ton of experience working with novices and newcomers and helping elevate talent. She did that in NXT. Nia, I don't know if I'd call her green, but she hasn't had that many great matches. You know, there's still, you could count them on one hand. I mean, she's getting better, but she's not there yet.
She's getting better.
Yeah, she's getting better. But for someone that's never had a singles match on TV, I mean, she was great at WrestleMania, but she was also there with Kurt Angle and Triple H, and they had a month to rehearse it, and they were spending all that time at the Performance Center working on it. I don't know how much they're rehearsing this, but it just seems like a risk.
But again, she was in the ring with Stephanie. Stephanie is not a very good wrestler. Okay?
Right.
She's not better than Nia Jax.
Right.
But very different. She can bump her feet where Nia Jax, that's not going to be happening. So what's key here is Nia, and she needs to step up and speak up about this. The agent should be doing this for her. And that is, no matter who she's in the ring with, they've got to be the ones creating movement out there. Otherwise, it can get stale and boring quick. Mm-hmm. With her just, you know, lumbering around and backing the opponents in their corner and like in forms across, you know, right above the chest area and doing the Big John stud off. That's boring.
Yeah, I just think with Ronda, she's the biggest star in the company. She's one of the biggest sports stars in the world, and not giving her more of a story, that's something you can bite your teeth into instead of just random feud. And, you know, put more thought into it. Come up with something and hide her. What's that?
It was lazy.
Yeah, it's totally lazy. That's totally WWE right now. And who knows? They probably double their TV deal off of that with how these things work these days.
Do you think, though, because of the way wrestling is, do you think that the powers that be, the guys that make these decisions, understand the business well enough or are even fans enough to have that opinion? Or do you think that they're so not really into it, they just kind of go, well, it's popular, so it must be working?
I don't know what kind of writers they have. We hear that the kids right out of college. I hear it's not always like that. You know, I know you have people like ex-wrestlers that are getting their input put in, and that helps the show, I always feel. But you could definitely feel they're neutral. There's no question about that. And I feel like it's almost, I want to give them credit and say they do this on purpose because it's a slow part of the season or whatever, like you were saying earlier, Raj. But I don't know if it's that. I don't know what it is. But it comes across as lackadaisical on television, the whole show from front to back.
Yeah, it seems like the only things that are given real thought are like the B team segments and like the Curtis Hawkins tonight. You know, it's like the comedy stuff is the stuff that's outside the box, but it's not stuff that's going to draw money.
I bet you those are the segments that are produced, like Matt said, by the guys that have wrestled before and have been in it, because it seems to have a bit more of an understanding of the business, a sense of humor. They know what they're doing. I feel like that's why it works.
Let me ask you guys this. Sami Zayn, he's one of my favorites right now, but like at the end of that segment, that fell flat.
Oh, yeah.
So like, even that, we have this kid with all this freaking charisma. He's on fire in the charisma department and getting heat. He did as good as he could with that. I'm sorry. There's not many that could have done better with what he was given tonight. To go out there with a stoic, smiley Bobby Lash in the middle of the ring doing nothing but smiling.
The middle of that segment with Sami was really good.
Right?
Kind of like they should have stopped it there when he...
Yes.
You know, that line about were you even in the Army, and Lashley should have just chased him off, and that should have been it. But
we saw Bobby smile again and high-fiving fans and waving to him. No!
Yeah.
The whole point of that was to crescendo him to that pissed-off scowl. That's why you have him overly smile the whole promo. To get to the smile's not on Bobby's face anymore. Oh, shit, it's on.
Yeah.
It's like a reverse Ronda. She looks really serious all the time.
Right.
So when she's happy, it means something. You know? Yeah, so that ended. Nia Jax got the Samoan drop of the pin, but Natalya landed bad on her knee. Was hurt after. She was trying to apologize to Natalya. Ronda came out and helped walk Natalya off. So they had backstage segment with that. Again, Natalya trying to apologize, but I'm assuming this takes Natalya out of Money in the Bank and maybe opens up space for Bayley or Ruby Riott.
Well, they could do that. There was that rumor that, did you hear that rumor about the toys that came out that had Kevin Owens with the Money in the Bank and Natalya with the Money in the Bank?
Interesting.
But I guess someone is saying those were made a while ago, so it could be just a weird coincidence or something.
Yeah, I mean, do they? Is it really accurate? Do they still do it nowadays, where every wrestler gets a title belt that comes in the packaging?
Maybe. It could be.
I don't think so.
Or they could have the Money in the Bank sets where you could just put the briefcase on whoever you get, you know?
Yeah.
If you got 6 figures, you just, well, I don't know.
I'm not gonna take my predictions from the toy company.
Right.
Yeah, the toys are typically pretty behind. I mean, they just came out like with the Festival of Friendship set a couple months ago.
Right.
The Miz and Maurice's John and Nikki. Yeah.
Oh, so, they did a figure on that?
Yeah, I bought those. They're awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I will buy really random and specific WWE figures. But yeah, toys are typically way behind. So after that match, Braun Strowman versus Bobby Roode. Okay, so this had a cool part in it. Bobby sets up a ladder, trying to pull like a Bugs Bunny and getting Braun to chase him, assuming Braun's going to run smack dab into the ladder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He has been doing that as part of his offensive arsenal lately, where he gets on outside the ring and is on the loose. He's this moose on the loose, just running around the ring fast as hell and tackling whoever's in his way. It's usually in tag matches, I've noticed, but not so much single matches as much. So I'm trying to make an excuse as to why he was doing this. I'm just being honest. But that was a pretty cool. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, when Braun smashed the ladder, that was awesome.
Yeah. And he throws his whole body into it, you guys. Every time I see him when you're taught to take like when the guy's in the corner and you charge and he moves and you eat a turnbuckle and you go through it and your shoulder hits the ring post, normal height guys, you hit your crotch on the second turnbuckle and it keeps you from this close from hitting your shoulder and trap muscle on the actual steel post. Okay? But when you're tall like us, you're eating that post every single time. There is no second turnbuckle to hit your crotch area to prevent you from hitting and going all the way through. And that beast, I got to give him credit. He hits that thing at 100 miles an hour, and he wraps his arm around that post as hard as bleep every single time. I don't know what they're waiting for with him. He's improved so much.
Oh, yeah. The short amount of time he's been there and how much he's improved, it's great. Again, I hate seeing Bobby in this spot.
Rinse and repeat on that comment. Right?
He was kind of heelish tonight, calling Braun big boy, taunting him on.
My Bobby Roode wouldn't be saying that.
It's a fine line.
I don't think he's being buried, but I definitely, you can tell where they see him right now on the card. And I think it's just he's miscast and he shouldn't be here. He should be here, but as a heel.
Yes.
So Braun won that match. The running power slam hit Bobby with that. And yeah, him smashing the ladder, that was cool. That'll look very good in the video package that we get before Money in the Bank. Let's take a moment to thank the sponsor of this episode, and that's Dollar Shave Club. So Dollar Shave Club delivers everything you need to look, feel, and smell your best. They have everything you need to get ready in the bathroom, much more than razors. Dollar Shave Club, yes, Dollar Shave Club. If you ever shower or brush your teeth, which I'm sure most of us do from time to time, You try and make your hair look presentable. I've got good news for you. Dollar Shave Club has a lot of stuff to help you out. They deliver everything you need to look, feel, and smell your best. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash, toothpaste, hair gel, even a wipe that'll leave your tush feeling tingly clean. I'm a big fan. Yeah, I said it. I'm a big fan of their amber and lavender calming body cleanser. I love their pomade. I'm wearing that in my hair right now. God, it's completely changed my shower routine. Did you guys get the new samples?
No, I don't get anything from you guys.
I did. I was like, I was like, what is this? Because there was so much stuff in there, and it was like, oh man, there's a ton of stuff.
It was adult Christmas. It was like, ooh, like black pepper and sage soap, and I've got this citrus face wash and all these great things to try out, and I've been loving it. It has been completely changing my routine. Their toothpaste is incredible. I love that it's so much more, a guy like me. I mean, all of us, right? I mean, I shaved last week. I don't shave very often, but I love that in addition to keeping me well stocked with razors, that they've got everything else I need to take care of my grooming routine. And everything they do is made with top shelf ingredients that won't break your budget, and you will feel the difference. Plus, shipping is free with your membership. So here's a great way to try a bunch of Dollar Shave Club's products. For just $5, you can get their Daily Essentials starter set. It comes with body cleanser, One Wipe Charlie's, that is the Tush Tingly Clean Wipes. And yeah, their world famous shave butter, plus their best razor, the 6-blade executive. Keep the blades coming for a few bucks more a month, and add in shampoo, toothpaste, or anything else that you need. You can check it all out at dollarshaveclub.com/INC. That's dollarshaveclub.com/INC. And Dollar Shave Club, man, seriously, it's got to be a good product if I'm sitting here talking about the tush and the butt wipe and the bathroom routine. But let me tell you, as Raj has said, it's a game changer.
Well, really quick. I'm sorry, Raj. What's so good about the toothpaste? Tell me on that. I like the taste. I like the amount of foam. I like that it feels clean, but it's also not abrasive in a bad way. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. I know
like how with some toothpaste you feel like, oh my God, my mouth is on fire.
You can't eat for the next 3 hours because it ruins everything.
It's perfect. It's just the right amount of mint, really good consistency. I really dig it. It's what I've been using for the past couple weeks. dollarshaveclub.com/INC. Huge fans of their products, and thank you to Dollar Shave Club for sponsoring the Wrestling Inc. podcast.
Yeah. And Matt's an old school. He's been using them since before they were a sponsor.
2013.
Yeah.
14.
Oh, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Real quick. Matt, you're in for Saturday, right? The CM Punk fight?
I am, yes. Now that I know we're going to do it, yes.
So after the CM Punk fight this Saturday, we'll be doing a special edition of the podcast. So
cool.
We'll have more on that this week.
Feel bad for him having to go through court a fight week. Jesus.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that after. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so we got the build-up for Owens versus Finn tonight. It was interesting. David Otunga, by the way, on commentary tonight, because Booker and Coachman couldn't be there, and I guess they didn't want to bring Booker back. So, Otunga touting first time in the WWE. I'm assuming, of course, their main roster. Although, technicality, their championship match for the NXT belt in Japan was on Beast in the East, the network special. But we haven't seen this matchup in a while.
What are you talking about?
Owens versus Balor.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
So they built that up pretty heavily tonight. Owens did a promo talking about it. And I don't know. I worry that with Owens, it's kind of fallen into the same thing again and again. I feel like they need to kind of change it up a little bit. Do something different.
I think he's another one that makes the most of what he gets. I do. I'm just always entertained by this dude. I don't know why. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, I just think like this match had no stakes, and when you have 8 Money in the Bank spots for men, 8 for women, why are they all filled in the first 2 weeks? Why not spread that out? And so, there's still some suspense about what the match is going to be and who's in it. And, you can have the second chance stuff still going out. And that way these shows don't feel completely meaningless.
Yeah.
Like if Finn and if Finn and Owens was for a spot in Money in the Bank, it would have meant a lot more. But otherwise, it just felt very skippable.
they're banking on them being a must-see match because everybody knows they're going to put on a phenomenal match.
No,
I'm guessing on their behalf. I don't know. It's a main event level match-ish.
Yeah.
You know, so the stakes are you have two of your top talents going against each other. You know, it doesn't, in those circumstances, doesn't have to be for some stakes. I'm thinking is what they're thinking is.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be.
Yeah, it's weird though because they locked down those lineups a few weeks ago, and they're not doing big storytelling for the guys involved this year.
Yeah, it's the same standard stuff: reaching up and grabbing the briefcase.
Because that's when the storytelling starts, Raj. Don't you think? A little bit more, like it'll pick up after we have our winners from the Money in the Briefcase, you know, Money in the whatever. Yeah,
that's actually Glenn and I were just talking about that before the show. That hopefully it picks up with the pay-per-view.
What if this is the new normal? They're like, we got billions of dollars, folks. Strap in. This is what you get from now on.
Well, like if they could just be on Easy Street, like, look, they got their formula. I mean, they could just stick with this forever, and they're going to have, you know,
Raj,
a couple million people that watch every week.
Absolutely, diehards are always going to watch. And here's the thing, Raj, they got nobody pushing them. This is the problem. We're not having another company out there to push.
Yep. No,
There's
absolutely.
no way they'd be cashed. They'd be phoning it in like this. No way.
Yeah.
Someone's going to get inspired, though. Someone's got to figure that if the WWE gets billions of dollars, I mean, right? That's what drives competition. Ted Turner wanted in this business because he saw the money to be made.
No, but they were in before. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
You know, WCW was around forever, as the NWA and everything. I don't see anyone being able to rival WWE anytime soon, just because WWE right now, if they're making $500 million a year, if they said New Japan is a threat, well, we'll sign Okada, Naito, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. It's like 7 guys you sign, and all of a sudden, you know, you've got no competition.
We will never see it again in our lifetime, in my opinion.
I don't think so either.
Wow. How old do you think Vince McMahon's going to live to be? His mom's still alive.
Wow. How old is he?
Vince is 72. His mom's in her 90s.
Who knows? His mom is. I'm saying 87, 88.
Okay. And I'm asking this, I do not wish ill upon Vince McMahon, but he's not retiring, folks. It's not like he's going to gracefully go out and pass the baton to Triple H.
Hey, the company's making more money than ever, so it's going to be bringing in over $1 billion a year once this new TV deal kicks in. So
he's already outlived his father. His father
he's doing something right.
So, interesting. Yeah, but that's what I think about sometimes is like, are we talking the next 30 years? I could see Vince McMahon living to be 100 by sheer determination and spite alone. You know, and for the next 30 years, he's going to control the wrestling that we watch.
Triple H is just checking on his health every morning.
There's still Triple H hasn't. You know, there's others that have an effect of this. Still, I think it's not as bad. I shouldn't say it's bad. It's not as much as it used to be. Where I know everything they still say passes through Vince, but there's people that can go up to Vince and make him pass it through.
Yeah. Whereas
before that wasn't happening.
Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see if he loosens control a bit more as we go. So Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy were out there doing a promo on the tag team division right before the tag team battle royal.
That was rough.
Crowned the new #1 contenders. In that battle royal, the Revival, Heath Slater and Rhino, Breezango, Titus Worldwide, the B Team, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, and the Ascension. Biggest shock is that McIntyre and Ziggler did not win this tonight.
Yeah. Why did they even put him in there?
Stupid.
Like the whole storyline was the people in the battle royal last week, right? Or that stupid ass barbecue thing that they did last week, and that it was those teams. So why randomly throw Drew and Dolph in here?
Because they didn't show the same resolve that they did the week before when we gave them credit for not putting them in it. Remember, we specifically said, you know, thank you for not putting them in this.
Yeah, because just by them being in there brought them down a bit.
Big,
you know,
of course it did, yeah.
And then being the first ones out, you know, granted they gave Drew a little bit, they had him destroy some guys, but they just did not need him in there at all. There was no point.
Better off not being on.
Yeah.
Do you think they were protecting the Authors of Pain, or they're just not?
No. They have nothing for the Authors of Pain right now.
They've been on Main Event. Actually, they haven't even been on Main Event in a little while.
No, they didn't. MIA.
Yeah. No Way Jose made his Main Event debut last week and was on again tonight.
He lost last week too. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, he's
tough year for NXT call-ups, man. So the B team won, eliminating Rhino and Slater. And I don't know about you guys, I could see them winning this. I think they're pushing them hard enough with the storyline, and they're investing in the storyline. I could see them defeating Matt and Bray. Matt and Bray turn on each other and go back to a singles feud.
Oh, God. Since that singles feud was killing them dead. You know what? I hope the B team wins. I think they're more entertaining right now. I don't know, man. Matt and Bray.
This was a promo, Matt Hardy. I wish they unleashed him like this when he first came in, or when they first started turning. You know, when Jeff got hurt. I wish they gave us the Matt Hardy promo tonight, involving the fans, saying his buzzwords that people always go bananas and pop for. You know, the woken, all that stuff. And this is like, I don't even know how late this is. You know, but by WWE trying to cash in on a really hot act, way late.
It felt like it was dying out there.
It did.
Although I'll tell you, I kind of wish the match wasn't happening at Money in the Bank. I wish it was another Wyatt compound match with the B team versus the Leader of Worlds.
I feel like if you're going to do that, you should have a storyline to get to there. That probably shouldn't be the first match, you know, out the bat, because they have no real history, no story,
That's true.
No vendetta. So just to randomly throw a compound match when there's no heat there yet. But
it's from the entertainment perspective, you know, he's talking, because it is that boring.
Yeah. Anyway, and it's gonna be. But props to the B team. I mean, they're over and they're entertaining.
I'm enjoying that.
Yeah. Man. Okay, Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn, it continues. So Sami comes out, talks about stalking Bobby Lashley's Instagram and the platitudes, the weak, thin things that he posts. Talks about Lashley hurt his hand so bad he couldn't eat the delicious tofu steak in his fridge.
Couldn't even hold the microphone. Ouch.
Yes.
That was so funny.
That was funny.
The first half of this was actually pretty good. I think the moment it peaked, though, was when he talked about that he has a bunch of fake Instagram accounts.
I popped for that. He's got all these anonymous accounts with no face on the profile. People do that. I get some on my thing all the time doing that.
Yeah. And he sent a message to Bobby Lashley. Now, I first thought, and I posted a link to it, of that promo that The Rock did on SNL with Bobby Moynihan, where the promo was that I catfished you, and it was this whole elaborate thing that he talks about he did online. I thought Sami was going there, but no, he just sent Bobby a fan letter.
That would have been good, actually.
Yeah, and then Bobby tried to sell him merchandise.
So are we supposed to believe that was true? Did Bobby, is that a real thing?
No.
There's not really Bobby Lashley fans. I don't
know. I mean, I'm assuming though. It seems
realistic. Kind of.
It just kind of fell off the cliff.
I think it was funny. I thought he was being serious.
It was hard to tell. I mean, it was hard to tell what they were doing for humor at the end, what was just bad comedy. But it just died by the end. By the end, I was like, man, this feud is just rivaling Sasha versus Bayley for worst feud of the year.
It is why it does take two to tango, and I hate to put Bobby in that spot like this, because Bobby, I think the world of. You've seen what he did at TNA.
Yeah.
He's got it in him. He loves the business. You see it.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of passion. When people have passion like that, you've got to tap into. That's your one job. That's literally your only job as a writer. Okay? Get to know your talent and tap into the. On his bio, it says he's in the Army. We're going to make this about the Army tonight. How about you sit down with him and cater him for 3 minutes? That's all. 3 minutes is all I ask. One cool thing TNA did, I think it was when Lagana started with us, they had us all spend about 10 minutes, and it was over like a 5 or 6 week period, I believe, with him and Matt Conway. And they got to learn us, got to know us, and it made sense, and it worked. It did. They got to know us better, and different things about us they wouldn't have known had we not shared different things with them. You know, about our past and histories and things like that. That's what you should be wanting to do as a writer, especially when you're not writing for the main event angle. I would be trying to prove myself every week as a writer by making my segment the best possible thing it could be. It's almost like not like that anymore. And they'll quickly blame it on what? Well, You try, and then Vince swats it down. You just keep trying then. You don't stop. You keep beating on that damn door until one of your things get pushed through, one of your storylines does get pushed through.
Yeah.
You don't just, you just give up in week 3 of trying? Like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah. It just, again, it's just back to that point. It just feels lazy. It feels like they don't know when to pivot, when to try something different. They're just sticking with it.
That is for sure. That is for sure.
Yeah, so we'll see where it goes next week. Now, of course, I think Bobby's going to kick the crap out of Sami at their match, I'm assuming at Money in the Bank, if it hasn't already been made official. But here's the question. After that match, do Bobby's actual sisters come out of the audience and beat up Sami Zayn?
No.
Just to sort of punctuate. Because they've talked about him so much in this feud. I feel like I need closure.
I hope not.
Oh man,
they'd get the hell boot out of them,
Yeah, I don't know. I think Sami though, with his fans, I think it's kind of a Ciampa situation. I think that we're playing along with the heel role and appreciating what he's doing rather than actually disliking it. Although, man, some of these have been really awkward. Backstage, Jinder Mahal with Charlie Caruso. Roman was backstage. They're cutting promos.
That was awkward too. It felt so unnatural, the back and forth between them.
But then I like that when Roman walked over there, Roman was like 100 feet away. He got there very quickly.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they know where the interviews are shot.
Yeah, we'll see. So that's some of probably the most build we're gonna get for that match at Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, and Ember Moon versus the Riot Squad tonight. During this match, Alexa Bliss suffers an injury, limps her way to the back. Becomes a handicap match with the Riot Squad getting in a lot of offense, and out comes Bayley to help Sasha Banks and Ember Moon pick up the win.
Remember when Bayley used to get pops?
Yeah, well, Corey Graves, I wonder how genuine that was when he said, when Michael's like, Bayley's coming out, and Corey's like, why?
Yeah, but at the same point in that match, it made no sense. I mean, other than if she's making the save, that's one thing. But to add herself into the match, like, that made no sense, right?
No.
Well, that's what Constable Baron Corbin thought after the match.
He was Constable Baron Corbin's right. You don't just add yourself to matches. But I'm sure they've done that before.
It's the WWE. It's not the Olympics. Very loose rules in this organization. So it was a bit of a showcase for Sasha and Ember. They got, the Riot Squad got to do some stuff. Bayley won on Logan, but yes, Constable Corbin overturned that with Kurt Angle backstage immediately after.
Constable. This is so funny to me.
I think because they've used Sheriff before for Steve Austin. And, I think they've used to death.
Be honest, did you know a constable, man?
It's a British policeman. That's how I knew it.
Okay, oh man, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know in India, I remember in indie movies, the cops would be called constables a lot. So that's all. Yeah, I did not know it was an American thing.
Well, yeah. Although, okay, so I like this, though. Did you guys see his mic was on low? I couldn't tell where they were going, but Baron was backstage dressing down referee John Cone, saying, like, you just can't do that, man. Like, that was like, I'm kind of into this gimmick now because it was Baron Corbin being different.
It is different.
It's different.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Matt. You sat here for, 2 years now and called him skinny, fat, and skullet. And that's why he's not a menacing character. So if he's going to be a bit of a tattletale,
it's different. Listen to me. I'll always applaud different, and I'll give it a few weeks before I'll give my, you know what I mean? What I feel about it.
Yep.
Yeah. And that brings. Big Show came out, did a nice thing with the Special Olympics, talking about that.
He's looking good.
Yeah. So he's not retired.
So he signed a new contract. So he signed a new 3-year contract. Yeah. But it sounds like he's going to be wrestling very sporadically. Like.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's with the company.
Yeah, he was looking good. Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens, the main event. This was a pretty good match. Went on for, God, over 20 minutes. Most notable things, Raj, as you were saying, kind of irks you that it ends in a DQ. But then we got the whole thing of Owens being afraid of heights, which I thought was cute, but not really true to his character.
Hasn't he been in a shark cage before? Was he scared then? I forget.
Was he in the shark cage?
I thought Jericho was.
Jericho, never mind.
Yeah. But Owens, though, has jumped off of ladders forever. Like, this wasn't...
Yeah, you can't look to WWE for continuity. Your head would explode like a half hour into the show. Yeah. But
so what'd you think of this match, Matt?
Good. Are you kidding me?
No, it's good.
It was good match. It's just again a good match on a. I don't want to say there was nothing at stake and things like that because there's two really good talents going against each other, which I'm entertained by. But what I've got to be honest about is a lot of the time I'll watch it from the wrestler's perspective, right? And I can morph in and out of being a fan. If I'm really behind something, I'm totally in fan mode like the rest of you guys are going, yeah, it's just being a fan. But there's other times when guys that I know can really go in the ring, I watch from more of a wrestler's perspective and watch how they put the match together, the psychology they're using. And look, I don't know, and be a little bit more judgmental on how I'm watching it in a good way. And this definitely passed the mustard. This definitely cut the mustard. This was a great match. But again, storyline wise, what did it do?
Yeah, it did nothing. And I hate when they, the bit at the end where Finn goes and grabs the briefcase. It's like they got to show the crowd that that's how it works. Like, like to kind of explain, like this is how you. When we say you got to reach the briefcase, this is what you got to do. Like you're explaining to the audience, like they're that dumb that they don't know what that is. So I don't know. It just seems so unnatural. Finn, grabbing the briefcase and just celebrating up top for no reason.
Yeah, everybody does this. Everybody does this. How many weeks do we watch this in advance before the actual pay-per-view? Whether it's Dolph or it's been Punk or it's been whomever, is millions of times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Could this be the winner?
It's better when a heel does it, I think.
Could this be the scene at this upcoming Money in the Bank? It's a good teaser, I guess.
Yeah.
If it's a heel doing it.
And it's just, again, this laziness. Like, why not do get Christian doing an episode of the Peep Show where he's talking about, because he's got all that Money in the Bank experience, and and build a match that way where he interviews the different people, from the Money in the Bank match, or have the Dudleys do something backstage, and just kind of incorporate what the match is known for.
Would you get on them, however, Raj? Pretend this isn't your idea. This is their idea, let's say.
Yeah.
And if you do that, let's say the Dudleys. You're not going to pull away from that saying, oh, there they go again, pulling out an older nostalgia act in order to get the younger talent over. That you wouldn't look at it that way?
Well, it depends how you do it. Like if you had Christian interview him, he's just in the background, right? So he's not overshadowing him, and he can mention his own experiences, but then it really turns into. It should be about the guys in the ring.
And in the perfect world, he gets his ass handed to him by a younger heel. You know what I mean?
Right. Christian, they wouldn't do that with because of his concussions. But with Bubba Ray, they would. Or if you had something like that. I don't know. I mean, if I thought 10 minutes over it, I could come up with something.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Just a little outside the box and just trying to do something different.
Yep.
So Owens stomped on Balor till he got disqualified, and after the match was the whole ladder drama. But then Finn put a stop to Owens trying from like 2/3 down the ladder, jumping on him. Then Owens went up there, did the coup de grace from really high up.
You could tell he was trying to be as safe as possible on that landing.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame him, but
yeah.
And how's that work? I read an explanation of this once, but his feet hit, but he basically shifts his butt so that way he's dropping. The most of his force isn't on his feet.
Yeah.
I guess, that makes sense. It always looks to me like the scariest move.
It does.
I mean, seriously, right? The first time I saw him do that, I was like, that was one of those mind-blowing, complete suspension of disbelief wrestling moments for me. And that's how they ended with Balor grabbing the briefcase, raising it with his music.
Your legs go completely limp. All right, your both legs go completely limp. thin or jelly as soon as you make contact. That's what he should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's impressive. But yeah, he was doing the briefcase.
Yeah.
Raised to the music at the end. And as Natalie and people were pointing out in the chat, when's the last time Raw ended with a segment that made you say, oh my God, I've got to tune in next week?
Hey, is that a rhetorical question, chat room?
Yeah, I can't remember the last time. It's been a long time.
Something with Ronda, I'm gonna guess. I don't know.
Like a real cliffhanger or something. It's been a long time.
I feel like we've had to live with this stereotype with wrestling for at least 20 years now of people saying, oh, it's the male soap opera. It ain't so soapy as of late.
I wish it was.
It would be way better if it was.
So much better. I love that stuff about wrestling. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the big storylines and the surprises and and how it all makes sense and tying in turns and stuff, like not doing turns for no reason, but having a real storyline reason for doing them.
I know we're pressing on time, but real quick, I always watch a lot of old school Attitude Era wrestling, right? Shawn Michaels was the commissioner at the time, okay? And it was the corporation versus the ministry. The first time they were going to meet each other, right? And Shawn Michaels had 3 security guards take them out to the ring. Shawn Michaels gets shown on the screen as the commissioner. Said, don't touch each other yet. He's like, I bet you guys think I'm there, but I'm in San Antonio, Texas. Look how beautiful it is, and sunny it is. Cuts a promo, makes all these crazy matches on the card. All the heels are pissed. And as the segment plays, and he goes, hey, you, police number 1, take off your mask. It's Pat Patterson. Number 3, take off your mask. It's Joe Briscoe.
Okay.
You, really good-looking guy in the middle. He goes, take your mask off. And it's Shawn Michaels in the middle of the ring. I'm like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That's putting thought into things, man. That they didn't think that up on the fly. That was well thought out in months. And it had such a cool pop to it. And I'm watching it over. I've seen this probably 4 different times. And I popped just as big on, holy shit, that was awesome.
I wonder if that's where Jericho got his idea when he did it with Omega, when he did the Videotron interview, and he's yelling him down, and then boom, he's in the ring.
He did a good job. If he did a great job of not making us remember that.
Right.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. No, it came across as completely. Yeah.
Oh man.
Like, Dad, why can't we do that now? What's so hard about doing something simple as that?
Yeah. So what ratings would you guys give it?
It feels like I say the same thing every week. I apologize to the chat room and the viewers because I give it a C every damn week. But I'm not trying to be a hater either. It's just impossible for me to give it anything above a C-.
Yeah, I'm going D+.
What was that Roger Ebert quote about the movie North? Like, I would call it bottom of the barrel, but I don't think this even deserves to be in the same sentence as barrels. I mean, it was like, it's not worthy of a rating, right? I mean, this is supposed to be a sports entertainment variety show that we're watching each week.
I think, how about this? We go on strike. I think if they're going to be lazy, we're going to be lazy, lackadaisical, not give them a grade. They get an N/A.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get to
incomplete.
Incomplete. There you go. INC period. Yeah.
For Wrestling Inc. There we go. So what else is in the news this week? I want to talk about the CM Punk Colt Cabana trial, but before we do that, the Undertaker is coming back to Madison Square Garden. Yeah. Raj, what's the story?
Yeah, he's booked for the July 7th house show at Madison Square Garden in New York City. They haven't said who he's wrestling yet, but the Madison Square Garden, the big marquee in the front has the Undertaker's picture. It says Undertaker returning for the first time in like 8 years to MSG.
Wow.
So yeah, so it looks like he'll probably be facing Rusev, I'd guess.
Good for Rusev. That's big news. Wow, cool.
Actually, no, it's a Raw show, so who knows? But yeah, Taker's working live events again, so he's not retired.
Yep. No, I think we're gonna get a couple more matches. Seems like. Maybe Seth Rollins. Maybe that'll pay off that comment in the interview.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think that you want Taker beating Seth Rollins.
That's true.
And plus, you don't want to throw a storyline, and that wasn't a storyline thing that Seth Rollins said.
It's going to be, what's his name?
Elias?
The show. Elias is the perfect one for this, actually.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Let him go out there and run his dick, his mouth at the beginning of the show. Taker's gong hits, and it's days of lights out for him.
Yeah. So CM Punk,
doesn't hurt him.
right? Yep. CM Punk, his trial's probably ending this week, and he's got a fight on Saturday. You think WWE planned that?
Yeah. I don't know. I just know, oh my God. Like I saw a couple of things on this because I've been trying to follow the case a little bit, you know, and I saw a lot of people making a big deal out of him, like crying on the stand or getting misty-eyed or whatever. Punk. Yeah. I believe it was on day 2 of the trial. And I'm going, well, hell yeah, the dude ain't got a carb in his system. Like, are you shitting me? Like, you have any idea what that does to you?
Yeah.
Emotionally? That's why guys are not around their wives on fight week leading into that most of the time, because you cannot be around nobody. You're miserable. You hate life, usually.
He's cutting weight. He's training. He's trying to, you know.
Yes.
It's insane that he didn't try to get it extended or moved.
I'm impressed. Just he shows up to this fight, I'll be impressed.
Yeah. Fighting Mike Jackson. We'll be doing a podcast, myself, Matt, and Chris, after the pay-per-view. But yeah, it's so right now Punk, AJ Lee testified today. Punk was on the stand. So this was kind of crazy. So Punk at the Royal Rumble 2014, his last ever WWE match, he got injured by Kofi Kingston from a
clothesline, got a concussion. Yeah,
he got a concussion, and he said like WWE sent out, we're trying to get him out of the ring later, and he wouldn't go. So finally they sent Kane out. But if you look at the timeline, Punk got the concussion like 10 minutes in, right? And he ended up working that match for like 45 minutes.
Right.
So it wasn't until like a half hour later that Kane got him out. And then when Kane got him out, he chokeslammed him through a table on the outside.
Oh, that's good for a concussion.
Yeah, like what the hell? So people are, you know, a lot of people are saying that WWE is negligent, you know, knowing he had a concussion. My guess is that Punk and WWE with each other, as part of his settlement to get out of his contract, they had a thing where they wouldn't sue each other, and that's, you know, that's why WWE didn't actually sue Punk. It was the WWE doctor. So they kind of got around that lawsuit bit by having the doctor do the lawsuit.
Oh, what was it threatened originally that he would sue WWE?
There was this thing where he thought it was what is it, MSLR or what's it? MRSA, yes. And I think that's when WWE kind of moved the release up quickly. So I think, and it turned out, I guess it wasn't. I think that's really serious. Punk apparently embellished some of the things in the story, but it didn't sound like he said anything that was an outward lie, but it sounded like some stuff was embellished a bit.
Yeah.
So
continue.
Lots of details. Under oath, chick magnet.
I've heard that before though.
Yeah.
Hey, really quick, what do you guys think the outcome of it's going to be? The verdict.
Man, you know, he basically admitted to embellishing a lot of the story, and but if Chris Amon, you know, if his big thing is he got mean tweets over it or signs at live events, that seems like people get mean tweets over anything. You know,
Colt, nothing should happen to him at all.
Yeah, I think nothing should happen to Colt. Punk, I don't know.
Because I was listening to Booker's, I'm always on YouTube, and this came up on my YouTube feed, Booker's comments on it, and I listened to it, and he made it sound like if Punk loses, he's going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah, that's $1 million right off the bat, just the judgment, plus all the money he spent in lawyer fees. You know, over the past, whenever this started, this has been like what, 3 years when the lawsuit was first filed, so that's a lot of money in lawyer fees.
Wow.
And so
more than $2 million, you think?
Probably, yeah. When all is said and done, if he loses.
Jeez, man.
So I was gonna say, if not for legal fees, I could see this being one of those verdicts where he's found guilty and has to pay like $1 in restitution.
Will Chris have the opportunity to say, you know what? No, I don't want $2 million. I just want a handshake.
No,
that doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, no way. They're gonna take him for all they can.
It's just
the whole thing is to drain him of his funds.
He worked so hard for that money, man. You know what I mean? I over the years, I'd hate to see.
Yeah, especially if anything happened to Cabana, then that opens up a whole bird's nest, because that's like no one can say anything on any talk show.
No, you can't do that. I know our society's getting crazy right now, but that's ridiculous. No.
It'll be funny though. So if Punk has to pay millions, this will be again the WWE acting against their best interests. Then he'll go back, do some indie wrestling dates.
He's not making $1 million off of indie wrestling.
And I don't think they'd worry about that.
Yeah.
They're that arrogant, and they are the monopoly.
Yeah.
Well, we shall see. Stay tuned to Wrestling Inc. for all the latest. We'll be back here Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern, to talk about SmackDown Live. Guys, teasing the segment, Carmella tomorrow night says she's going to do a promo, tell the truth about Asuka. This sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Maybe it's the same thing Sami Zayn did tonight.
Yeah, maybe. We shall see. Matt, anything you want to plug before we head out here?
No, I'm good.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
He's
same.
BP Matt Morgan on Twitter and Instagram. Follow
my
Wrestling
interview with Haku.
Yeah.
You cut off my Facebook link one more time, Raj. Matt Morgan for Longwood on Facebook. Your interview with who?
Yes.
Haku.
When's it up?
This week.
What day?
First part should be by Wednesday.
Pretty cool. Toughest man in wrestling history.
Toughest man in wrestling history, and probably the nicest guy too.
Yes, he is. He really is.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm sorry.
He lives near me. He is.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm Glenn Rubenstein. You can find me on Twitter at Glenn Rubenstein. I tweet along with Raw and SmackDown, along with the Wrestling Inc. account. And yeah, we'll see you back here Wednesday on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.